The Justice and Development Party, AKP, has begun mulling potential hurdles in the event it is forced to form a power-sharing interim government with the People's Democratic Party, HDP. Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu made an 11th-hour call to the Republican People's Party, CHP, and the Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, on August 20 to form a three-party coalition for 2 months, until early elections are held in 2 months. The place to solve the problems in a democracy is Parliament. Let us do our jobs and form a government and get a decision for early elections in Parliament, Davutoğlu said during a press conference in Ankara. Davutoğlu's call did not include the HDP, the only party in Parliament that said it would send ministers to an interim government. A new calendar will start running on August 24 if President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan commissions the AKP leader, Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu, to form an interim government national security body to meet on September 2. Turkey's influential national security body will hold its next meeting on September 2. That is to say, when an interim election government is expected to be in charge of the country. The AKP assumes that no ministries or portfolios that involve national security will be allocated to the HDP. In addition to the Prime Minister and the Justice, Defense, Interior and Foreign Affairs Ministers, Deputy Prime Ministers are also members of the National Security Council, MGK, which brings together Turkey's civilian and military leaders. Thus, the AKP plans to avoid potential handicaps by not including any deputy prime ministry post in the election government, paving the way for a 22-seat cabinet. The incumbent, 26-seat cabinet is composed of the Prime Minister, 4 deputy prime ministers and 21 executive ministries. If the AKP cannot go ahead with the plan, it will attempt to postpone the upcoming regular bi-monthly meeting of the MGK, as the interim government will be in power only until the election, which is expected to be held in early November. HDP rejects any fait accompli. The Republican People's Party, CHP, the second biggest party after the June 7 parliamentary election, said August 19 that it was out of the question for the party to take part in a short-term election government. The third-placed Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, already opposed involvement in an interim government, while the fourth-placed HDP was warm to the idea. However, the HDP doesn't seem positive on the conduct of matters in the way the AKP has been planning, with its spokesperson in Bilgin warning the potential Prime Minister to stay away from any impositions. We will insist for acts in line with procedure, the HDP's Bilgin told the state-run Anadolu agency on August 20, in response to Davutoğlu's earlier remarks suggesting he would select individuals who would hold ministry seats allocated to the HDP. We see that there is a quest for a formula which doesn't involve the HDP either, Bilgin said. A political party's involvement in another party's internal affairs is against the nature of politics, he said, underlining that any fait accompli would backfire. HDP co-chair Selahattin Demirtas, meanwhile, reiterated his party's willingness to be part of an interim government. Our taking part in an election government is not meant to be a partner in the AKP's government, Demirtas said, in remarks published in Daily Haberturk on August 20. Motion renewal. Apart from the Prime Ministry post, the AKP would be expected to hold 10 ministries in an interim government, according to parliamentary arithmetic. The CHP would hold 6 ministries while the MHP and the HDP would hold 3 ministries each. With the CHP's and the MHP's decisions to abstain, its ministries could be held by non-partisan figures that may be chosen from among academics and former lawmakers, not necessarily from the state civil service. According to senior AKP executives, avoiding the extension of this motion is not an option. According to the same executives, the issue could be resolved in 2 different ways. Either the motion will be brought to the agenda of an extraordinary session of Parliament before the establishment of a new government, or it will be open to signatures to be collected from deputies in order to be sent to Parliament after the establishment of a government. The AKP has reportedly taken into consideration the probable unwillingness of the 3 prospective HDP ministers to sign the motion. If the potential ministers do not ultimately sign the motion, The AKP plans to resort to methods such as dismissing or removing the cabinet members. In such a case, the signatures could be given by proxy. Even if the HDP subsequently submitted new names to the ministries, the process would be completed by then.